Hi, I'm Rebecca. Welcome back. Today I'm talking about my 10 new tips to be productive while working or doing school at home. Transitioning to working from home has definitely been hard at times, but it's also been so great at other times. I sat down and thought about what was really making the difference in making sure I could get all my work done so that I had time to do what I want to do. This experience looks different for everybody, so I hope you can take my tips and adapt them to help you. If you like this style of video with organizing and productivity, leave a like and comment down below your best tip for working from home so that I can learn and grow with you. Now let's talk about my 10 unique tips for productivity when working from home. Open your window. I'm sure you've thought of opening up your blinds, but I mean open the actual window. This is great for two reasons. First, you're letting in plenty of natural light, which is always great when you have to sit and stare at a computer screen. But also, you're letting in some fresh air. Sitting in one place and doing your work can be really stagnating. So that airflow can be the difference between being able to refocus on a task at hand and completely losing your train of thought. If you can't open your window, try a fan. It'll have that same effect. Even if you're not warm, that airflow will make all the difference in your productivity. Plus, when you're done, you can close your window or turn off the fan for another change. Don't multitask. Being at home can make your work seem a lot easier at times. Plus, you're constantly reminded of all the other things you have to get done. But in reality, you have the same work just with more distractions. Instead of focusing on a million things at once, it will be so much faster if you pick one task and focus down. When you're finished, then you can return to all the other stuff. While you're working, if you get distracted and think of something else you have to do, write it down so you know you won't forget it when you come back to it later. It won't work for everything, but it will definitely help limit the amount of multitasking you're trying to do. Play Pokemon Go, or actually just any app that rewards you for getting up and being active. Whether this is just tracking your steps or closing the rings on your Apple Watch, or if you need a little more motivation, you can play a game. I use this because I can remember to plan time to be active, but I always find it hard to remember to stand up and move around a little bit during my work time. It's normal in an office or at school, but when working from home, it's easy to focus down and stay in one spot forever. Turning walking into a game makes all the difference in stretching my legs, getting moving, and then refocusing on the task. It makes me much more productive when I'm able to sit back down again. Drink water. This probably doesn't seem like that helpful of a tip because of course you should be drinking water. But in reality, you're probably drinking drastically less water when you're working from home. The usual times you most likely drink water are after you've washed around, with a meal, or when you're bored and need a break. All these habits are disrupted when you're working from home. If you need to remind yourself to drink more water, set an alarm, set a reminder, or even put a sticky note on your computer. Plus, have a water bottle on your desk at all times so you can drink whenever you remember. Use time blocks to plan your day. I used to be strictly a paper planner person, and I would write down all the tasks or all the homework I had to do each day. When working from home, I realized that normally my time is scheduled into blocks anyway. I go to class at certain times or go to meetings at certain times, and I work on homework at other times. So if, like me, you're normally a paper planner person, maybe you should try switching to an online calendar. Or if you're really stuck, you can print out a monthly calendar and plan your day by chunks of time. It really will make a difference in following that schedule, even if it's not to the minute, so that you can have an idea of what each day will look like before you even start the week. Plus, as you do this for longer, you'll get a better idea of how long different tasks take you and be better able to manage your time. Be okay with being less productive. I know I just got done telling you how to use your calendar to be more productive, and this whole list is about being more productive at home. But in reality, that's just not always going to happen. There will be days when you just don't get as much done, and it's important to be okay with this. Because if you don't, you'll just waste your time stressing about how much you haven't gotten done. Instead, give yourself the needed break and then come back to it later when you can actually focus. It will make a huge difference in your productivity and also your enjoyment of what you're doing. Go beyond getting dressed up. I know you've heard it because it's the #1 productivity advice. Get dressed for the day. Don't stay in your pajamas or sweatpants. But in reality, it's not about wearing uncomfortable clothes that make you focus on a task because you're so out of place. It's actually about keeping your routines. So take it one step further than getting dressed and remember to do your morning and night routine as you usually would. If this is breakfast at a certain time or with certain people, or if it's a certain skincare routine, make sure to do it. You don't need to put pressure on yourself to do these things at the exact same time every single day. But having a general pattern will help reduce these chores from stressful to standard. Turn on your webcam. Why would you bother to turn on your webcam when you could just have a meeting from the comfort of your bed? Well, if you have a meeting where your webcam is optional, try and turn it on. Humans communicate through body language much more than we ever realize, and so people being able to see your face and you being able to see others will help you communicate emotion and expression and improve communication all around. Turning on your webcam will also help you show the confidence that you have in your skills and your abilities. Try it out and see how much of a difference it makes. Have a paper and pencil ready. You probably noticed that a lot of my tips have something to do with writing something down, planning something out, or tracking something. This is because when routines are disrupted, it can be really hard to remember what we've done, what we need to do, and what we want to do. This is why I like to make a 3x3 list. It's 3 things that I need to get done today, 3 things that I need to get done as soon as possible, and 3 things that I want to get done. This list helps me organize my thoughts, know I'm not forgetting anything, and be prepared to focus on one task at a time until I'm ready to move on. This tip helps me feel comfortable in knowing that I'm not forgetting anything important on my to-do list, so I feel comfortable focusing on one thing at a time, and I get the satisfaction of checking it off as I go. Don't be afraid to ask for help. Just because you're working remotely and probably separated from your peers doesn't mean you have to figure everything out on your own. Questions are still totally justified. A quick email or a quick phone call will totally be worth the effort. In that same vein, help others who reach out. You know how stressful it is to be in their situation, and a little bit of help will make this issue better for everybody. I hope these tips help you to be more productive while working from home. Whether it's a temporary situation or a long-term one, we're all trying to make the best of it. I want to hear what you've been doing to make working from home a little easier. Thank you guys for watching. Don't forget to subscribe and see you next time. Bye!